Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10 p.m.
Now on News 6, the nationwide hunt for Charlie Kirk's murderer. The latest clues and where he was last spotted by investigators. Kirk's death has led to ripple effects nationwide.
That they're trying to find somebody to blame. And I don't think it's our fault. Like, it's really not. I mean, we didn't do it.
And tonight, one local university's campus remains locked down, another shaken up by two different racist threats.
I was like so concerned because like obviously some things like aren't to be taken lightly, and it was just really scary.
How students, staff, and police are all taking precautions.
I feel like you treated me like trash. Like I didn't mean nothing.
That woman says she lost her job and her home and nearly lost her life in a crash. As she struggles to rebuild, she has a message for the driver who hit her and left her for dead.
But we start now at 10 tonight with the search for answers about who is sending threats to colleges here and nationwide. I'm Ginger Gadsden. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, glad you're with us tonight. I'm Matt Austin. We have team coverage from two local campuses coping with two different threats. In minutes, News 6's Jarrell Baker tells us why Bethune-Cookman University remains locked down, even though the FBI has declared their threat a hoax.
But we start with the racist rant that has UCF shaken up. Your Orange County community correspondent Troy Campbell is there.
We're on UCF campus near Addition Arena speaking with students. Now, every student we spoke with says that they've either received that email threat or they know someone who has. They even say several students left school early. Take a listen. Did you receive the email? First explain the moment you realized you had the email and your thoughts when you read it.
Well, I didn't get the email sent to my phone. My roommate showed it to me on her phone, but it was pretty scary because I'm an international student. It's like my first semester here. No, not me. I was already scared, yeah.
The threatening email references the fatal stabbing of a Ukrainian refugee in North Carolina last month. The message claims the person who wrote it would seek revenge against minority students on the, quote, Orlando campus. You're the roommate. What went through your mind when you read it?
I was like so concerned because like obviously some things like aren't to be taken lightly, and it was just really scary.
Yeah, what were your thoughts when you actually read the message?
I don't know. I thought of telling my mom because I figured she would see that and freak out.
Thursday afternoon, UCF posted on X the university was, quote, aware of a recent threat directed at UCF, and similar messages have been reported at other universities around the country. Our threat management team is actively investigating and working with the FBI. At this time, we do not consider the threat to be credible. How about how hurtful, based on the sensitivity of the words used in the message?
I mean, yeah, it was pretty vulgar.
What about the tone of the message and the terms they used?
I thought it was very targeted, like specifically like the vocabulary they used. Like a lot of people could get hurt, but like especially with how they targeted minorities.
The UCF chapter of the NAACP released a statement saying the intent of these threats are rooted in white supremacy, racial hatred, and a deliberate attempt to sow fear in black communities. Despite no lockdown or class cancellations, students say many were frightened enough to leave campus early. You think a lot of people left? They got off campus?
Yeah, they did, because there's no one here. Like, I know one of my friends, he literally, I sent him the screenshot, and the first thing he did was leave class and get in his car and drive home. So yeah, I think people were really scared, which they're like, it's valid. I understand completely.
Again, UCF police say that the threat is not credible, but as always, they ask students if they notice anything suspicious to call 911 right away. I'm your Orange County community correspondent, Troy Campbell, News 6.
Tonight, Bethune-Cookman University's campus remains locked down over a different threat. It has been on lockdown most of the day and will remain that way through the night, even though the FBI is now labeling this nationwide threat against colleges as a hoax. The school's president, Dr. Albert Mosley, sent out an update over email and text messages saying the lockdown was, quote, due to an abundance of caution. Students are told to shelter in place. Meals and drinks have been provided to residence halls. Now, the same threat has brought similar lockdowns at historically black colleges and universities nationwide, including the ones you see there on this map. News 6's Jarrell Baker is on BCU's campus in Daytona Beach, speaking with students there.
I'm community correspondent Jarrell Baker here at Bethune-Cookman University, where you can still see police officers blocking off several entryways and putting up cones and barricades. The university went into lockdown Thursday due to potential threats. It's a stressful day for BCU students like Olivia Johnson and Mari Thomas. The two were in class, then suddenly told to evacuate after receiving an email from the university staff saying the campus is on lockdown, canceling all classes and telling students and staff to leave or go back to their dorm rooms due to a potential threat of campus safety.
It's like nerve-wracking because who would have thought, like today, like it's just a regular day, I went to class, I was gonna eat, I didn't get to eat yet today.
Several other historically black colleges and universities received threats as well and were also put on lockdown, including Southern University in Louisiana and Virginia State. Daytona Beach Police, Volusia County deputies, and other agencies closed off the streets and roadways leading to the campus.
We're trying to make sure these kids are safe, man.
I kind of expected something because, 9/11, I expected something, but I wasn't expecting this. This is next level, so.
Johnson and Thomas even fear black students are being targeted.
That they're trying to find somebody to blame. And I don't think it's our fault. Like, it's really not. I mean, we didn't do it.
And for me, I feel like it's really sad, but it's like I don't feel like due to his political beliefs, he needed to be shot down because everybody have different beliefs.
Now, we received a letter from students that was sent out to all students from Dr. Albert Mosley, the university president. Now, he says that there have been no credible threats that have found throughout all of the searches that they have done with law enforcement. They've also secured several of the buildings. Here in Daytona Beach, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
Breaking now at 10 o'clock tonight, the FBI has called a news conference at this hour in the murder of conservative pundit and activist Charlie Kirk. They reportedly are showing some new video of the man they believe killed Kirk. He is still on the run tonight. Here's some video just into News 6 of, this is Kirk's casket here. It was flown from Utah, where the 31-year-old was killed, to Arizona aboard Air Force Two. As you can see here, a procession escorted his body to a funeral home in Phoenix. As we wait to see this new video, we're getting it into our system now. We can tell you the FBI released photos of a person of interest earlier today. Investigators in Utah say they found clues, including a palm print, a shoe impression, and a high-powered hunting rifle in a wooded area along the path the shooter fled. A $100,000 reward is being offered for information and arrest.
He moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses.
He's an animal, total animal, and hopefully they'll have him and they'll get him. What he did is disgraceful. Charlie Kirk was a great person, a great man, great in every way, especially with youth. And what he did, what this man did, was disgraceful. So hopefully we'll have him and we will deal with him very appropriately.
As President Trump spoke about the search for the shooter as he departed for New York tonight, the president plans to award Kirk a posthumous Presidential Medal of Freedom. Again, the FBI giving an update as we speak. We're going to bring you those details at once at clickorlando.com and coming up at 11 o'clock.
In Volusia County, a woman who owns one of the dogs that mauled an 8-year-old boy to death pleaded not guilty to tampering with evidence today. Brandy Hodel appeared in court today. Her roommate, Amanda Franco, pleaded not guilty earlier. 8-year-old Michael Millett was mauled to death by 2 dogs while riding his bike in January. Deputies say the dog owners deleted their social media accounts the day after the boy's death. A neighbor sent screenshots to detectives reportedly showing the dogs had a history of getting loose and causing trouble. Hodel's next hearing is set for late this month.
There's no empathy, there's nothing. Like, is this the justice you were looking for at all? Not at all. No, I'd like to see her sitting in orange like those other inmates in there.
Once again, Hodel's next hearing is set for September 22nd. An Osceola County woman says she is now jobless and homeless because a driver hit her while she was riding her motorcycle and then took off.
Your community correspondent Alex Cook met her outside the emergency room where she continues to recover.
I'm at US 192 in Celebration Place in Osceola County, where traffic cameras show in the early morning hours of August 4th, a car hit a motorcycle in the intersection, dragging that driver and then fleeing the scene. Florida Highway Patrol says they need the public's help to identify that hit-and-run driver. The victim of the crash called News 6 to say she's lost her job and her home because of her injuries, but all she wants is for the person who did this to her to face justice.
Mia Phillips was heading home from work on her motorcycle when video shows just after 2 a.m. a car slammed into her and dragged her into the intersection.
I have a broken tibia and a broken fibula, and I have a hematoma blood clot on my brain, and I can't walk. I have 13 screws and 2 metal plates in my leg, and I won't be able to walk for a while. I don't have a job no more. I lost my job. I lost my place because I don't have a job. And I basically lost everything. And the person left me right on the ground and just pulled off.
FHP says even though the crash was caught on video, it's impossible to make out the license plate number, and the hit-and-run driver is still at large. They're asking for anyone with information about the crash to contact FHP or Crime Line. Phillips, now homeless and with mounting medical bills, started a GoFundMe hoping for some help from the community. She says the worst part is knowing the person who did this to her is still out there.
You wake up every day, you know you hit someone, you know what you did, and you don't care. I feel like you treated me like trash. Like, I didn't mean nothing.
After our interview, Phillips went right back into the emergency room for an MRI because of numbness and pain, but not before addressing the driver that left her for dead directly.
I know we all make mistakes. Things happen. I really, really need for you to come forward and let us know, that's what insurance is for. Help me so I can help you so we can help each other and just make this a better situation.
In Osceola County, Alex Cook, News 6.
This is breaking news out of Brevard County now.
Yeah, after a week full of scrubs and delays because of the weather, SpaceX just pulled off a beautiful night launch. Next at 10, we will take you out to the Cape, where they nearly ran out of time to get off the ground because of the weather. Jonathan.
Yeah, and the weather good inland. We are watching some of those downpours closer to the Space Coast, trying to push on shore. Right now, though, temperatures in the 70s and low 80s. You can feel it. It's a little less humid out there, even more so this weekend. We'll pinpoint that forecast at about 10:17.
If I am one of the lucky ones that gets drawn, I would definitely try to harvest a bear.
That local hunter is ready to apply tomorrow for Florida's controversial bear hunt. How hunters can pay to improve their odds of being picked.
In a live look tonight at the New York City skyline, we will pause to show how the nation remembered the 24th anniversary of September 11th.
And you can also see how students in one county honored the local heroes of 9/11.
You're watching News 6 at 11. We're live on a Thursday night covering Flagler Beach, Fruitland Park, and all of Central Florida.
2, 1. Engines full power and liftoff.
And just into News 6, we brought it to you live on air and online just minutes ago. SpaceX Falcon 9 finally got off the ground at 9:56 tonight. This is the fourth night in a row they tried to launch this week.
Weather cleared up for the last minute of tonight's window on board an Indonesian communications satellite. And yes, they managed to stick the landing about 8.5 minutes after liftoff. This time they launched at sea on a drone ship. Or they landed at sea on a drone ship. SpaceX has another local launch set on the 14th. Well, now on News 6, in just hours, hunters can start applying to take part in Florida's first bear hunt in a decade.
Yeah, rules for December's hunt were set last month after months of debate and outcry from animal lovers. The online applications that start tomorrow are only the first step, though. Ultimately, very few hunters will qualify.
News 6's Catherine Silver looks at how many permits are available and who's looking to get one.
If I am one of the lucky ones that gets drawn, I would definitely try to harvest a bear.
Avid hunter Mark Barton says he is one of many who will be applying for a bear hunting permit this month. We spoke with the Legislation and Conservation Chair for the Backcountry Hunters and Anglers before applications open Friday.
I'm really hoping and expecting that they're going to raise upwards of $1 million in funding.
There's that much interest in getting a hold of one of these permits.
Yeah.
Florida's Fish and Wildlife Commission unanimously approved a 23-day hunt for this December. Only 187 bears could be hunted in that time frame, and here in Central Florida, only 18 permits will be handed out. The commission says you can apply as many times as you want to pay the $5 fee. Who gets chosen will be up to a random drawing.
We are trying to get people to enter the lottery.
Chuck O'Neill is the president of Speak Up Wekiva, a group who is adamantly against the hunt.
This is our last resort, and we're going to use every effort to save as many bears as possible.
So it's worth it to you to spend the $5 however many times in the hopes that you get a permit that won't be used.
Exactly.
This year's hunt will be the first in Florida since 2015, when FWC estimates there were 3,500 black bears. They say that number now is about 4,000.
The problems with bears in neighborhoods are 98% taken care of by proper trash management. The people of Florida don't want this.
We have never seen a game species decline after it's been adopted as a game species. We've only seen them flourish. And there's no reason for us to expect that it's going to be any different for the Florida black bear.
Catherine Silver, News 6.
Tonight, the nation marks 24 years since September 11th, 2001 terror attacks. Here's a live look at the World Trade Center site in New York City, where we have seen public ceremonies, tributes, and individual moments of reflection. Nearly 3,000 people were killed on September 11th.
Yeah, more than 2,700 of them died in and around Ground Zero. The largest remembrance in New York took place this morning around the time of the attack. As has become a tradition there, each of the names of those killed were read, including plane passengers, people doing their jobs in the Twin Towers, and of course, brave first responders.
In our nation's capital, President Trump attended the ceremony at the Pentagon where he hailed the 9/11 victims as heroes. There was also a ceremony at the scene of the plane crash in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Passengers on United Flight 93 rushed the cabin to confront the hijackers. The plane crashed in a field.
In Central Florida, hundreds of ROTC cadets climbed thousands of stairs at Daytona International Speedway before dawn. Their annual climb represents the unwavering sacrifice and determination that happened on September 11th and afterward. This morning, the Lake County Historical Society and Museum hosted a special remembrance.
Lake County students honored our local heroes. News 6 photojournalist Charles Holmes was there.
United Airlines Flight 175. Christine Lee Hansen.
Delrose E. Forbes. Cheatham, 48 years old, North Tower.
Claire Hanrahan.
Thomas Daniel Burke.
Peter Paul Hashem.
North Tower.
36, North Tower.
American Airlines Flight 11. Dane L. Halvin.
Juliana Valentine McCourt, age 4, United Airlines Flight 175.
Charles R. Gunzelman, 59 years old, New York Police Department first responder.
Virginia May Jablonski, 49 years old, North Tower.
Faustino Apostol Jr.
Christopher Robert Clark, 34 years old, South Tower.
The young people reading names today were not born to witness these tragic events, but are here today to render their support to never forget.
We must protect our land, our people, and our Constitution together as one America to honor those who gave their lives that day.
All right, a lot of remembrances. Always a heavy day in America. Takes you right back to where we were. All right, let's transition now into some weather.
Yeah, we finally got that rocket launch off.
Yeah.
This is like the 4th time's the charm. Is that the saying? I don't think it is. But,
No, it's
but it
third.
almost didn't happen. There were some downpours right nearby.
Yeah, they were close and close enough. We had the electric field issue as well that could have played a role into that, but nonetheless, they got it off with a little bit to spare. Temperatures in Titusville right now, we're back to 84. We are at 78 degrees, and Oviedo had some great pictures come in today. We'll start on the coast from this morning. Nice sunrise in Palm Coast here to see the few clouds and the color in the background. By the way, you can submit your pictures on the free News 6 weather app, or you can go to clickorlando.com/pins, where you can scan the QR code. That's exactly where it's going to take you, and you can submit your pictures if you maybe happen to have caught the extremely awesome sunset. I know this name. This is sent in by Pins user Ginger Gadsden here. Look at the color in this sky in this picture here. Phenomenal outside, and again, a cap off to one of the more comfortable evenings that we have felt in Central Florida in months, literally going back until early July. 79 in New Smyrna Beach. We're at 78 in Daytona Beach. Palm Coast, good evening. Again, we are at 75 degrees. Live look in Daytona Beach. Somebody's taking advantage of the very nice night. You see the ride going up and down right there, making me sick just looking at it. Temperatures back to the upper 70s. The breeze out of the north at about 10 miles an hour tonight. All about the dew point. It's all about your comfort. The higher the number, the more humid it is. Typically in the middle of summer, the dog days, we're in the mid to upper 70s. Look at Tallahassee right now. They're in the 50s. Again, no doubt getting that taste of fall. We started to get some of that trickle down, the drier air trickle down the Florida Peninsula. But nonetheless, we're going to get a little bit more of that as we get into the weekend. Here are some of those downpours that were trying to scrub the launch. They were moving closer to Playa Linda Beach earlier tonight. Now they're back closer to Oak Hill, closer to Port Orange again. They are few and far between tonight. We were talking about this earlier, that we would likely have those downpours again push on shore, at least to try to push on shore with the best chance right along I-95. Now, tomorrow, same deal, rain chance at 30%, especially along the I-95 corridor, right along I-4, and then points to the south and east. You're on the drier side the further west you are tomorrow, and that's going to hold true as we get into the weekend. 30% shot for downpours, maybe a rogue rumble of thunder on Saturday. This is the key here, becoming less humid. You're going to feel that, and I think we're going to have a couple of, relatively speaking anyway, comfortable evenings coming in the pipeline. 20% shot for a downpour on Sunday. Tropical front, one wave to watch, highlighted here, low chance for development right now. If it does develop, it looks like it's going to get on out of here pretty quick, even leaving the Caribbean alone. Watching it closely, but again, does not seem to be anything to worry about at this time. 30% shot for downpours on Saturday, 20% chance on Sunday, and through the bulk of the upcoming work week, guys.
Thank you. Well, we mentioned earlier, hundreds of ROTC cadets climbed thousands of stairs at the Daytona International Speedway before dawn. Next at 10, a closer look at this tribute to firefighters lost on September 11th.
This morning, the Daytona International Speedway looked a little different. Instead of racers, there was hundreds of ROTC cadets making an amazing memorial stair climb to honor the heroes of September 11th. Before sunrise, more than 600 ROTC cadets from Embry-Riddle climbed the equivalent of 2,100 stairs. The number represents the number of stairs New York City firefighters climbed inside the World Trade Center on 9/11.
Many lives were lost that day for firefighters and policemen that were all there in New York when this event happened. And it's great that we were able to showcase that that we will, as I said before, never forget this moment.
This is the second year Embry-Riddle's ROTC detachments have taken part in the tribute, but it's the first year United Airlines, which lost 2 flight crews on 9/11, has been here to mark the day.
That was an extremely significant event for us, but what today represents for us is an opportunity to honor the first responders who came to the call that day. It's an opportunity to work with and support these young students who are pursuing a career in the military to defend our great nation.
And for some, this climb was personal, like for Francis Morrissey and his son. Morrissey, a retired New York firefighter, responded to the attacks, reflecting today as his son, a senior cadet, took on the climb.
Lost a lot of good friends. Well, I actually lost 2 chiefs out of my house, Freddie Sheffield and Joe Marchbanks.
What do you want them to remember?
I just don't want them to forget. It was a major attack on us, and shortly after the community came together. It's unbelievable.
And as these cadets finished the climb, they didn't just walk away with aching legs. They left with a deeper connection to the heroes who gave everything 24 years ago. Reporting in Daytona Beach, I'm your Volusia County community correspondent Angie Casada, News 6.
Find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus.
It is free to download to your smart TV or your streaming device. We'll have much more coming up for you tonight at 11 o'clock. Good night.